Our journey to become master occultists would be incomplete without a thorough understanding of the law of cause and effect. It might sound straightforward, but applying the law can be quite intricate. Here's the principle. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. Inputs must equal outputs. They absolutely have to. If the outputs aren't turning out the way you want, your inputs are off. As I said, it seems simple, but when you put it into practice, it hurts. It hurts so much that our minds put up barriers to spare us from that pain. These barriers are cognitive bias, and they come in various flavors. My top 3 are procrastination, self-doubt, and obstacle invention. Procrastination, I'll do this tomorrow. Self-doubt, I'm not good enough. Obstacle invention, I need this one thing in place before I even start. To truly master this principle, these barriers must be overcome, and once you surpass them, you've earned a chance to step into the painful world of self-transmutation. As stated within the law of correspondence, as within, so without. Sometimes, the things we desire to manifest require internal change and sacrifice, and it's painful. For instance, when I weighed over 400 pounds, I was rarely hungry. But to maintain my current 260-pound form, it demands that 80% of the time, I exist in a state of annoying hunger. This hunger is the toll I must pay to uphold this version of reality. I'm not complaining though. I'm quite fortunate because I understand the inputs required for my desired outputs. It's been trial and error to get here too. Once I fasted for 8 days straight without salt. I discovered on the 8th day that my body becomes nauseous and I feel faint without it. It also became challenging to speak English and operate heavy machinery. So, that wasn't the way. Inputs must equal outputs. And because life is a game, it throws challenges at us to make it interesting. Sometimes those challenges involve painfully learning what inputs equal what outputs. You might also find out that to achieve the same output, someone else may require half of the input that you require. Imagine if you were born at the same time as Bill Gates, but you never had the chance to use computers, while Bill had access to computers at his school and could learn all about them. You didn't have that opportunity, even though you both loved computers. Bill could practice coding and create amazing things, like co-coding all of early Microsoft by hand. This task must have been easier with early access to computers, which perhaps you didn't have. This can be very frustrating for underdogs, but the underdog story brings the greatest return on experience, and experience always beats speculation. Life is not fair, and life is also short, depending on your karma. So try and make sure you got the right inputs for your outputs. But before you despair, remember, inputs must equal outputs. This means that if we pay the right price, even though the prices are different for everyone, we will get the right results. The universe must obey. It's even baked into physics. Sir Isaac Newton's third law of motion states, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. To get the things we want in life, we must pay the right prices. If you had to do 10 push-ups every day as soon as you woke up, and you did this for a month, would your chest be stronger? Odds are significantly high that your chest would be much stronger after day 30. You see, it's an odds kind of game here, and that's actually great news. It seems awful at first because maybe you feel like you have only a 5% chance of achieving your dream goal, but it's the best because your chances will never be 100%, but they will also never be 0. You guys know the old saying, the odds that you'll get killed by a baby are low, but never 0. The odds of you becoming president are also low, but never 0. So in other words, fuck around and find out. Once you discover the correct input, the universe must give you the corresponding output. So a few caveats. 1. Never compare your progress to anyone else. It's foolish. Just pay the prices. Remember, the universe is the law, so it will produce the outcome if the price is right. 2. Never pursue a goal that is gate-guarded by the opinion of another human being. These loose goals are deceptive, but they look like this. Maybe they'll promote me in a year. Maybe she'll like me if I just... Maybe my dad will love me if I just... These thoughts require us to play games with people who may never be satisfied. And they may never be satisfied because as soon as they give you what you want, they may lose control over you. Maybe they're afraid to promote you because you're too good at what you already do. Maybe the more you try and get her to like you, the more she feels like you're some sort of needy predator, which makes things worse. Maybe dad thinks rejecting you makes you stronger, or he sees you as a better provider than he is and is ashamed to compare himself with you. You see, it gets complicated. Seeking the approval of others is a fast path to boredom and mediocrity. Better to find objective, obtainable goals, like starting that podcast, learning that instrument, or picking up some weights. Just be the best that you can be and shoot to increase or decrease your odds. And one more thing to keep in mind. Sometimes dreams require never-ending interval payments because of this thing called entropy. Entropy is the phenomenon of everything always trying to fall apart. It's a little quirk of the universe that keeps things interesting. For example, if you put a little bit of creamer in a cup of coffee, those molecules eventually spread out fairly evenly. In this case, the cream by itself is your potential and focus. The black coffee is the void of entropy, wishing to break down the order that is your will. In this sense, we must remember to nourish our goals consistently for the outcomes that we wish. Hardly any price is a one and done deal. Usually, the things we want require a type of rental payment. Your business will require attention. Your skills always need honing or you forget them. Your body needs fairly consistent discipline to operate at its healthiest. Seek to increase the odds of everything and be detached from the outcome. Example, if you want to make money, fall in love with business. Don't fall in love with money. If you love having big muscles, fall in love with working out. Don't fall in love with big muscles. If you love making art, fall in love with making art, not consuming it. Inputs must equal outputs. It doesn't matter if you feel good or bad. If you pay the price, you will succeed. So when you see those gate guardians, handle them one by one. Maybe we'll do this tomorrow. Nah, we're gonna do this now. This is a waste of time. You'll never be as good as them. Then I'll be as good as I can be. You'll need a whole new computer for that. I'll just make what I can with my cell phone. Keep your head up and don't be a passenger in your own life. And remember, occultists, pay the price, endure the pain, and the universe must abide. It is you, after all.